Hey there. It is back to school time, and boy, are we all feeling it. Um, we are so fortunate to partner with Next Level Urgent Care, and we are going to bring you what you need to know for this school year, and how to stay healthy as we kick it off. Hi, my name is Megan Clanahan. I am the co-owner of Houston Moms. It's my privilege to be here today with the Regional Vice President of Next Level Urgent Care, Dr. Thomas. Dr. Thomas, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, so happy to be here.
Yeah, so Dr. Thomas, we were chatting a bit earlier. You are a mom. Can you share a little bit more about yourself?
Yes, so I did my residency at UT Houston. I came to work at Next Level directly after, and I've been here since, and I love it over here. I have three little kids at home. I have a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. So busy at work and busy at home for sure.
I know that there's so many moms out now watching, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, three
Yeah,
under
three's a lot. Three's like 100. So
and three is a lot. I just have
yeah.
the two twins, and so but it seemed like a lot when they were babies, and so
Mhm.
props to you, and thank you for taking time out of your busy day to help give our Houston moms some great back to school tips. So let's just
Yeah.
start right there. What are your basic back to school health tips? How do we do this school thing right now?
So the most important thing is we want to make sure everyone's up to date with their vaccination. So that's the way to keep everybody safe. Make sure you've gone to your pediatrician. You make sure your child is up to date with the vaccinations for their age. So that is the most important thing. But on top of that, things that you can do at home, stay really well hydrated. Make sure kids have one of those big, good water bottles. I didn't drink any water when I was a kid. And I feel like my kids all have all of these great, beautiful water bottles. So get them one of those and make sure they're drinking water all day. A couple other things is when they get home from school, immediately shower them, get all the germs off, at least wash hands, because that can help a lot of spread of disease from the older kids, the younger kids, which is a problem I've always had. My 3-year-old would come home from preschool and then put her hands all over the baby, so we make sure she washes her hands at least before touching the baby to prevent the kids at home from getting sick as well. On top of the hand washing and the showering every day, make sure you have a good bedtime routine. And I know this is much easier said than done. I'm saying this while I wrestle my children to bed every night. But you got to make sure that you get them to bed on time so they're getting enough sleep, because that really helps that really helps prevent getting illnesses as well.
Sleep is such an important aspect. And I mean,
Hmm.
my kids are 13 now, so they have gotten very used to those late nights,
Yeah.
10 and 11 o'clock bedtimes that really can't fly anymore. And they came home from school last week, and I looked at them, I'm like, oh, it's 9 p.m. tonight.
Yeah.
Like, there's no more of putting mommy to bed now. Like I'm putting you back to bed.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you'll get there. I promise. It's glorious when it
I
happens.
wish that someone would tell me to go to bed at 9 p.m. That's I'm like, go to bed, guys, when you can. Go to bed at 7:30. I wish I could.
It's like my dream. Take a nap. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, so sleep is totally a great part of it. Um,
Hmm.
okay, so we kind of touched on, the hydration, but then also kiddos coming home with just germs. They're
Yeah.
everywhere. And
Hmm.
so how can, places like Next Level help, treat these like all these back to school illnesses that we're seeing? And also, what are you seeing right now?
So we see everything. Next Level is great because it's that bridge between your PCP and the ER, right? Nobody wants to go to the ER and wait there for 13 hours to find out they have the flu. But a lot of times you can't get into your PCP right away or within the next few days, and then you're just going to get worse. So Next Level commonly can test for all kinds of viral in illnesses. We can test for COVID, flu, we can test for mono, strep. And then we can also just assess and see if you just have a viral illness that's not one of those two, and give you any appropriate treatments to help with your symptoms. So I think it's great because it'll save you a trip to the ER. and it'll save you from trying to get in with your PCP. We actually do a lot of other complex things, like we do x-rays if you're worried about a broken bone. We can do the x-ray, we can splint you, we can cast you, and we can most of the time treat you if it's uncomplicated, especially in kids. Most of the time it's uncomplicated. We can treat you the entirety of your whole cast, and we can even remove the cast. So we do a lot of the in between. So I think that's why urgent cares have really been popping up, especially Next Level has grown so much in the last few years, because there's really that need for people, that in between PCP and ER. People really need that. So I think that's great.
It's so important. And you guys have, I feel like you're everywhere in Houston.
We are, yeah.
You've moved also, y'all have locations in San Antonio and Austin. So
Mhm.
for my people who are traveling for Labor Day, if something happens, you can probably find a Next Level in Austin or San Antonio. About how many locations in the greater Houston area are y'all at right now?
So we have a total of 42, 7 in San Antonio, 7 in Austin, 26 in Greater Houston, and then 2 in Nederland and Beaumont. And we can all see each other's notes and things. So if you see somebody in San Antonio, it's all connected. We're all the same company. And actually, you don't even have to come to the clinic. You can go on the app and get online in the app. And you can actually see how many people are ahead of you as well. So if there's 2 people in line in Meyerland and 1 person in line in Tanglewood, you can say, let me go to Tanglewood. And then they will actually text you to come in when your room is ready. So you don't have to wait in a lobby full of sick people. So that's great. And just come in and roll back to your room, and we'll get you treated and out of there. We all want to get it done as efficiently as possible because we're all busy.
Oh, for sure. And I love that point so much. Thank you for bringing it up because it is my favorite thing about Next Level is to get in line online.
Uh-huh.
Um, because you're right. Like, I don't want to go sit with all the sick people, especially if I'm not
Coughing around you.
feeling well or if my kid isn't feeling well and whatever.
Yeah,
I use it all the time. Obviously, y'all are partners and sponsors of ours, but I am
mm.
like, I'm a believer, and I think I should have a frequent flyer card because that's how often I use
That's great.
the Ranch location.
Oh,
Um,
that's great. I love Cinco Ranch. I actually get in line on the app too when I need to be seen or my kids need to be seen. So I think it's great.
it's perfect.
Mhm.
So it for the all of those reasons and all the testing that y'all can do to find out what's going
Absolutely.
on. And then go with the peace of mind that
Mhm.
have a diagnosis because a lot of times we don't want to wait 2 days to see our PCP for sure.
Yeah.
Convenience is the ultimate mom goal, right?
Mhm.
Speaking of convenience, a lot of our kids are going back to school and we're finding out and we're getting these last minute emails that, hey, your kid needs a physical. Uh,
Yes.
Next Level has a solution for that. What is that?
We do. Yeah. So for the month of August, which is almost over, and all of September, we're doing $10 basic sports physical. So if you need your kid to be in football and you need to go tomorrow, you need that paper tomorrow, we come in and see us. It'll be really quick in and out, and we can get that paper filled out for you just for basic physical. So I think that's great. A lot of people have been really excited about that.
I mean, I think that's awesome. $10 and you don't have to go deal. I mean, we love our PCPs. Don't get us wrong.
Of
They're
course, we
very,
do.
very
I'm a family medicine doctor, so no hate on the PCPs, but
yeah.
yeah.
Like, but they have like, I mean, they can't get you in all the time to get
Mhm.
the paper signed and all of that.
And we're open till 9 p.m. So if your kid tells you at 8 p.m., if your kid tells you at 8 p.m., then you can come in and get it done really fast for the next day.
I love that so much. I have a feeling, especially as HISD is getting back in session too, that a lot of parents are going to be have that paper thrust upon them.
Mhm.
So speaking of going back to school, it doesn't necessarily feel like back to school temperatures out there. I think
So hot.
we are facing like an unprecedented heat wave.
Mhm.
I am a native Texan. I've never felt this hot in my life.
Okay, that makes me feel better because I'm from New York and I'm like, what is this? It's so
So
ridiculous. It's so hot.
I'm so sorry. It's usually not this bad, but you touched on hydration earlier, and it's funny
Mhm.
because if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, we really didn't our parents didn't force water down us.
No,
Um,
not at
with the
all.
exception of like the garden hose that came out like steaming.
Yeah.
And so let's talk a little bit about hydration and
Mhm.
how important it is, especially for our student athletes.
Yeah, it's really important, especially kids can't regulate their body temperature as well as adults can. So it's very important to watch them for the signs and symptoms of dehydration. So make sure they're hydrating frequently, like I said, with those big water bottles, like have them always by their side so they're always drinking water, and take frequent breaks to go indoors and just cool off for a little bit, especially if you're playing sports or if you're sweating a lot. Think about as much as you're sweating, you need to intake twice the amount of water so that you can stay fully hydrated. And then just signs of dehydration, really bad heat exhaustion. People can get confused or have really bad diarrhea or vomiting or stomach cramps. If you get any of those issues, you can come see us at Next Level. We can give you some fluids to help with that for sure.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, I
Mhm.
didn't know that. And I actually had a friend just the other day who coaches softball. And she's my age, and she ended up with her first case of heat exhaustion.
Mhm.
It's a very scary experience.
It is, yeah.
So good to know that you can go and get, some IV fluids, get that in you. But obviously best to tackle it before we get to that point. Um,
Absolutely. Yeah.
for sure. So speaking of our little athletes that are running around in this crazy heat, and maybe like playing new sports and things happen. Um,
Mhm.
talk about how you make the choice of going to an urgent care, or going straight to an ER.
Mhm.
What does that look like, and how can Next Level kind of fill the gap there?
So it's funny because I saw this billboard once that said, if you're stung by a bee, go to the urgent care. If you're stung by 100 bees, go to the ER. So it's interesting because we can triage that for you. So if you're on the side, you're unsure, you can always come to the urgent care and we will assess you quickly and we can decide if you need to go to the ER. We can call the EMS for you if you're unsure. If you are having chest pain or you have a fracture that's like sticking out of your leg or something like terrible, terrible, always err on the side of ER. But if you're in that in between, come to the urgent care and we'll tell you. And when we send you to the ER, we won't charge you for any of your visit at the urgent care because we want to make sure that you're not getting two bills. And that was kind of the concept that Next Level was born with. So we're not trying to overcharge you. We're just trying to charge for our services. So come on in if you're unsure and we'll definitely let you know.
And I love that story so much. Whenever we've had Dr. Breeze with us, who is the CEO of
Mm-hmm.
Next Level, it truly was how the idea was born because she had to take her son, I think. Um,
Mm-hmm.
she got all these ridiculous bills from the ER, and she's like, there's
Yeah.
got to be a better way. And
Mm-hmm.
so I do think it's notable that, again, if your kid has like a broken bone, that again,
Mm-hmm.
not sticking out, not funky,
Yeah,
dunky,
nothing terrible, but yeah.
like we haven't broken the skin, but there is x-ray at Next Level Urgent Care. Y'all can split,
Mm-hmm.
you can cast, you can do all the things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. So we love Next Level Urgent Care. We love all the Dr. Thomases at Next Level Urgent Care. I think
Thank you.
if you've been to one, you have felt the warmth and the care of the practitioners who are there. All the
Mm-hmm.
NPAs are fantastic. And so, um,
Absolutely.
anything else that you would like to add for back to school tips as a seasoned mama of three?
Well, moms, you need to get your sleep too. Don't forget that. Moms need to hydrate and get their sleep along with the kids. But I think those are the most important things, that along with hand washing, and we'll get into a great school year.
Fingers crossed, man.
Yeah.
Um, so thank you, Dr. Thomas, for joining us. To our Houston parents out there, we are hoping for the best 2023,
We
2024
need it. Yeah.
school year. Yeah, we just no interruptions. Let's just like
Yes. Let's
let's
go
sail
through.
this thing. Wash our hands and don't
Hmm.
sneeze on people. And
Yes.
we will get through it. Y'all have a great day, and we can't wait to see you next time with more important tips from Next Level Urgent Care, our preferred providers for your urgent cares. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.